Well, howdy do there, folks. How are you doing today? Hopefully you're doing absolutely fantastic. I'm here with new lady Tara Devi. I named her Tara Devi because I like Devi Tara. She's cool. She does a big protection. She looks like Kali kind of. But I didn't want to just name excuse me. I didn't want to just name every character I have some version of Kali, so I decided to name it after one of the other Mahavidyas. And hey, look, it's her birthday! Yay, birthday! So she has a bunch of things in here. Oh, what is this? It's a gift from Boar Hugger. Oh, look at that! It's a bunch of money. Thanks, Boar Hugger. Oops. I click that side. Oops. I keep doing that. Wait, one more time. Okay. Thanks, Boar Hugger. Okay, there we go. What is this? Cat Brain Sparker. Oh, thanks! Lots of money. Oh, more money. Oh, more money. Yay! Yay, money, yay! Yeah. So what I'm doing is the same thing I was doing on my order characters, where I just decided to just get rid of all the characters because they're all over the place in terms of level. Some of them had a bunch of money, other ones had I leveled them up wrong, or I was doing weird stuff with them. And there were several characters that I played for a little while, but then I didn't really enjoy the class, so I just decided, okay, heck, we're just gonna start over, and we're just gonna, put a lady for a class that I know I like. Oops. I guess we're one. But that's fine. Because I know I like tanks. I know I like tanks in this game in particular, and I do like healing people to a certain degree, but tanks are kind of my mainstay and kind of the ones where I like their armor the most. So it just seemed like a good idea. Thousands of years have passed since our treacherous kin, the so-called High Elves, betrayed us by choosing to follow the pretender king, and blah 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 blah. Oh my god! I do like elves to a certain degree, but I have to say, and I was thinking about this in terms of Eldar earlier, but like elves and Eldar in Warhammer settings all have this like theater kid energy where everything has to be like dramatic and everything's like, can you believe all of the things? Hairball. All of the things that have happened to us. Can you believe all of the wonder? Oh, they betrayed us. They say, and I'm just like, okay, yeah, whatever, dog. I'm glad that you got betrayed and now you're like dramatic about it and things. Very cool and good. Whatever you want, really. But for me personally, it's just like I don't know. I enjoy like the theater. I kind of enjoy the theater kid energy, but I kind of like laughing at like Eldar. Eldar don't know how to do anything without being like super dramatic about it, right? Like it's not just, oh man, if we don't do this, a bad thing is going to happen. We should tell these humans and explain our motivation and move on. It's like, you don't understand how brilliant I am, and how wonderful. I'm going to prevent the big bad, and I think you're just going to have to cry for a while. And it's just like, I get it. I get why like some people like the dramatic stuff, but like I don't know. I just always find it funny like how seriously people seem to take everything the elves say, even when they're wrong, and sometimes they're just like dead wrong and kind of dumb. But hey, that's fine. It's just funny when you're like a species that constantly talks about how right you are and how big your brain is, but then you're just like, kind of doing things in a dummy head type way. And hey, I mean, some people, they are allowed to be dummy head. Sometimes dummy is head 5 times 8. You know what I mean? So hey, it is what it is. But you know, and then like Dark Eldar and Dark Elves have like emo theater kid energy, where it's like I'm going through my brooding phase, and it's like well that's really good. I'm glad you're going through your brooding phase. Does that mean something to me in particular, or is it just like basically you're just like telling me words? And sometimes I think they're just telling me words, and then other times I think they're like trying to tell me about how like during the dark times they was is good bad. I don't know. It's kind of funny because like once you start just like questioning a lot of like okay, like I understand, for instance, like this is a powerful sorceress lady here, but well, maybe not that powerful, but just look at her outfit. Look what she's wearing. Like that just screams like goth theater kid. Like you want people to pay attention to you and your breasticles and your big flat tummy, and you're like, hey, look at me and look at how scary powerful I am. It's like when you know people always like the what is it that they say? They say they like their dommy mommies. Yeah, like you know, it's just like an entire species of dommy mommies, but not Tara Davy here. She's a really nice lady. Look, what the heck? Why does she look like that? That's very weird. Something's wrong with her face. Wait, let's just see. Okay, no, there she is, back to normal. Okay, but then the okay, that's odd. Okay, no, now we're back to normal. I don't know what exactly was going on there, but that's interesting. But yeah, you know, elves all just have this like theater kid energy, and it's like it's kind of like people keep telling me that they really like Astarion from Baldur's Gate 3, and I personally just find him like he's just kind of too much. Where it's like I'm trying to go on an adventure and do cool things, and he just keeps going, "Oh, we're going to save these people. Oh, they owe us. Oh." It's just like, shut up, put your words away, put your words away. I don't want to hear them. But that's also why I never take him as a companion. But I mean, I don't know. Oh god. It is kind of funny because Lae'zel is, just to briefly mention it, is like one of those ones that I didn't think I would like, but apparently she opens up quite a bit and seems like she's better later on, but you have to like be with her like as and friend forever. It's like, okay, whatever, lady. I mean, but yeah, I mean, look at this. This is like I watched one too many Disney villains that I want to be edgy type decoration. This is, but you know, you could be more like decorative in like one of the fun ways, like what you call it? Um, dang it, what was Ursula based on? Hello, how are you? Are you having fun fighting my friends here? I know they wear silly outfits. Yeah, and they make little comments like that. Pitifully weak. It's like, uh-huh. Whatever, bud. Ooh, I like your armor and your purple there. That looks nice. Mind killer. But yeah, it's divine. Yeah, it's divine. It was based on divine. So, you know, if you wanted to do something theatrical, like a drag queen type theatrical, I would be more down with that. I think that would be fun. You know, if we wanted to just have like some drag queen theatrical stuff going on, I think that would be fun. Or, you know, like do a little bit of John Waters type theatrical, a little bit of ultra camp, if you will. Ultra camp is fun. But then, like, you know, everybody's like, ah, man, everything is the most dramatic and important thing ever done because I'm doing it. It's like, you know, I don't know. Sometimes it just gets, like, tiresome. Because it's just like, okay, yeah, sure, just very important, very big energy, very powerful. I'm glad that you're here to protect us. Wahee. But, you know, then I like to be silly, and I like to run around and, like, ram things with a car or a horse cart or something like that. Or I like to be, um, you know, an orky boy sometimes. But, or a goblino. El Goblino, the Education Especial. I like to run around and do curses and things like that. That's fun. But, you know, sometimes folks they just want you to like run out there and do crazy nonsense. They want you to run around and do all sorts of things to, you know, impress them or to like prove that you're not a weakling. It's like, okay. I mean, I don't know. I would think getting over like that one time your kin betrayed you would be kind of like you know, kind of strong. Like if you just like hold grudges forever and are just like, no, these are the grudge. It's like I don't know. That just starts to seem kind of silly after a while. It's like you guys are like this is like after thousands of years, you're still sitting there going at each other, which is a very elfish thing to do. I kind of feel like at least for some humans, even if they live that long, they just be like, okay, yeah, whatever, and move on and like find ways to benefit themselves rather than just being like evil and mean and things. No, of course, you know, for something as petty as like dark elves, I guess it makes some sense to be like, yeah, no, I'm upsetty spaghetti that you're alive or whatever. I don't know. It's like hard to take dark elves seriously though. Like I understand like they're like uh big and powerful, but they're also just so whiny. So, oh my ancient grand. Same thing with Dark Eldar, where it's just like, oh, I am so superior to you. It's like, okay, yeah, sure, whatever, man. Like, they really don't care. And it's just like this constant like cycle of like elves and Eldar just like having their noses in the air, but being like kind of dumb. Like they almost always seem like with the high elves, you would think that like they would be smart enough in like regular Warhammer lore to just be like, okay, let's just like see if we can find a way to forgive our dwarven old friends and try to see if we can mend some of that. Because, I mean, look, we're gonna die and we need allies. We need people on the. Oh wait, I need to actually be doing just targeting the Shadow Warriors and or the Shadow Sword. Blade, why are you a shadow? I mean, you look like a Shadow Warrior. You know, like you would think like they would be smart enough to do that, and you would think like you would think that if you lived that long, maybe you would have some, or you would hope you would have some wisdom. But at the same time, that reminds me of like interacting with like boomers and stuff in real life and realizing that like they can be older than a lot of like regular humans, but like they have just like somehow no wisdom. It is like just like talking to like a weird and I kind of get that. The thing that's funny about elves is that they tend to act in a lot of kind of silly ways, especially um like in certain parts of the story they act like really silly and they do a lot of things that kind of just make you go, no, wait, why would you do that? Like, it's kind of funny to me that, like, Eldrad, for instance, in 40K, like, just L after L after L It's like, aren't you supposed to be basically like super psychic? Aren't you supposed to be seeing future? And then it's funny because like when he was trying to revive Urain, or when he was trying to revive, not Urain, but the well, no, because Urain I think is the lady that is like the avatar, or not the avatar, but like the body for the god. What is the Inari, I think. Like when she, like when he's trying to revive her or bring her about, and it's just like, yeah, all it took was like one Death Watch team to stop him, and it's like, are you for real now, my guy? You had no contingency plans, nothing, nothing at all, and then it's like, well, the real reason is that Games Workshop just decided that the elf needed to be a failure in space. I mean, so that's really all that is. I mean, it's like it's not even like an interesting way to make them failures. It's just, oh no no no, we're just gonna now you're just bad. It's like, why are we bad? Oh no no no, you're just bad. Oh, okay. Is there is there a reason we're bad? It's like, no no no, we're just gonna make you fail. It's like, oh okay, cool, thanks. So yeah, I mean, I guess like if you're gonna be failing all the time, I guess having some theater kid energy at least makes some sense. Although like these guys in particular, it's just like Dark Elves in particular, it's just like, could you just like get over yourselves for 5 minutes? It's like, no. But I think that's kind of what people really like about them, so whatever. It's kind of the same thing with Eldari, where people really love how seriously they take themselves. Even though if you want to think about failures like species wide failure, you're kind of hard pressed to find a species that messed up more than the Eldari and provided more of a mess up than the Eldari. It's kind of funny. I mean, in Warhammer Fantasy, they're much more like they actually have a lot of power, and they do a lot of things, and they're kind of like maintaining the vortex, which is doing cool magic stuff. They're the ones that taught the humans how to like control their magic better, or like at least in the Empire, and they're like still like, despite not really being like of the same kind of world power they used to be, they're still like having a lot of stuff going on. So they're still pretty cool, I would say, and they still really earn their thing of being like at least a little conceited. I wouldn't say that they should still be conceited. I would say that they need to be wise. And sometimes you actually see that in High Elves. You rarely, if ever, see that in Eldar. Eldar are just like, nah. Me am bestest. Ah. Listening to your species, it's like a bunch of apes grunting. And it's just like, okay. You say so. But it's like frequently like you're just like the biggest losers who are like constantly like dropping the ball. It's like, I understand that like, oh no, our language is not as sophisticated. Oh, we don't have as many cool things going on, but it's just kind of like, okay. But when you're constantly failing, you looking down your nose doesn't actually make that much sense. It kind of makes you look silly. Are those supposed to be lions, or what is that? That is a very weird looking. It almost looks like a weird sea creature design, but that's okay. I like sea creatures. But yeah, I don't know. I really enjoy. I still really enjoy High Elves, and I like my own Eldari craft world and things like that. And I like this lady here, who I'm gonna have be as good of a lady as she possibly can, and where she's a good lady who wants to help humanity and High Elves and help other people. And that's why I also have to leave the elf area, because otherwise I'm just gonna keep killing elves. I don't mind killing humans or dwarves as much, honestly. High elves in this are at least pretty good. Not always great, but pretty good overall. Dwarves, I've kind of gone like from them being like my favorite species in Warhammer Fantasy to, well, as I became way more and more Libby liberal and I have become lefty cat, it's like, I don't know, something about the conservative nature of the dwarves is kind of like less and less appealing, especially like them dragging their feet behind. Although they do give a good chance to just like take a couple of dwarves and just have them be like really inventive and powerful and like willing to throw aside the shackles of like shame and things like that. And I really enjoy that idea. Yeah, I don't know. I think elves have major theater kid energy, and some of them I mind it less. Like I don't mind it as much with high elves. I don't necessarily mind it a ton with dark elves, depending on the dark elf, because some dark elves are just like, oh my gosh, get over yourself. Other ones are like, oh okay, you're kind of spooky and you kind of got a little bit of that energy, but not as much. I like Harlequins in 40k. I think regular Eldar and Dark Eldar are both just kind of like they just sound silly, especially if it's like you're constantly failing. Just stop acting like you're like so great. It's like you're just like constant failures, man. But hey, if you love them, I understand, and everybody has their different tastes. I I still like my Eldar. I like my little craft world, and them helping out my Space Marines and them being friends. I like that. But not everybody has to fill everybody's needs, and not everybody has to, make stuff for each other. Sometimes you just want to make stuff for yourself. Like having a dark elf lady here who actually wishes to be good and wishes to be a proud warrior, not just a horrible slave person master. And I want to free a bunch of slaves and take them and bring them to the Empire and be like, hey! And then they'll meet up with Yamina, and Yamina will be like, hey! And then we'll all hug. I think that'll be cool. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed listening to my random little babble about theater kid energy and things like that. And I hope that you all have a wonderful day. And hey, if you have elves that you like, why don't you tell me what kind of elf is favorite elf type or space elf type, if you want, in the comments. Or you could just, hang out, give a thumbs up if you'd like. And I hope that you have a wonderful day. And I love you, bye. And God loves you, bye. And Makali loves you, bye. And Tara Devi loves you, bye. And Elves love you, bye. And everybody loves you, bye. Bye, bye, bye. Bye, love, bye.